I'm Krys. I play guitar in Lune. Yeah, we're playing with Sylosis on this upcoming tour in February, opening up the show. It's going to be awesome. We're very keen.
Yep, I'm Nathaniel. I sing and learn. Yeah, and we're very, very keen to kick off this tour next month. We've been listening to Sylosis for a very, very long time. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens on this next run. Hopefully, win over some new people.
It's going to be awesome.
Thanks for joining us today. Pleasure to speak with you.
My pleasure. Thanks
No
for having
worries.
us.
No worries. So, as you say, Lune will soon be touring around Australia as supports to Sylosis and Angelmaker, starting on February the 11th in Perth. They're going through Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, finishing in Brisbane on February the 16th. So, not too far off, guys. How you feeling?
Yeah, not too far away at all. Kind of creeping up, isn't it? I am particularly nervous, I think, because Sylosis are one of those bands that I kind of found when I was formative with my guitar playing, like Josh particularly. I remember this video he had up years ago teaching how to sweep, and I was like a child learning how to play guitar at the time. So it's pretty hectic for me to be playing shows with that guy. So I'm super keen. Just in the process of popping the set together, make sure all the nuts and bolts are nice and tight, and yeah, very very excited.
We came up on the same music, so we're yeah, very excited. I remember hearing like Imperial back in the day and just being like, how do you even play this?
Yeah,
And like trying to watch Chris figure it out for like weeks and months on end. So it'll be really cool to check it out. And they're a very different band to what we are. So it'll be interesting to see how the punters react to a band like us, sort of opening up the night every night. With me berating them to do nefarious acts in the venues.
So you both mentioned that Sylosis have been a big part of your musical life. So how do you approach a tour like this in terms of what you expect and attitude? Like it's not as if you're just going out and playing with a pub band, you know?
no, yeah, me and the guys kind of have like this long running joke between us that whenever we do these bigger shows and just have these opportunities, we want to help out as much as possible while simultaneously staying the hell out of the way, really. Like, we want to be the guys on the tour that, great to have around, and we're always down to help out, but simultaneously let everybody do their own thing and, you know, just make the best impression we can possible, essentially. Um, I mean, musically, like any other band, I suppose, we go in and we want to be super tight. We are, as musicians in the band are really, but I suppose we're perfectionists. Like we we record a lot of our stuff and listen back and pick out the stuff that was a bit wobbly on at one show and then just kind of drill it. So yeah, we just want to go and essentially be the best versions of ourselves and have a great time while we're doing it.
Yeah, I
Daniel?
would definitely say we're pretty razor sharp on the perfectionism when it comes to this sort of thing. Yeah, I think we just try and like make sure that everyone on the tour package is just feeling good and having a good time. I think out of anyone, no one likes the person that's like a bit of a punish on the tour, whether it just be because, they're following you around like a bad smell, or if they're just, a bit miserable to be around. And, touring can be tiring enough. You're traveling a long way, some longer than others, from all the way from England. And you don't want to be the person that's bringing everyone down when, you're all trying to have a good time and have the best experience possible. The boys, like, every single opportunity that we possibly have, we're trying to be as technically proficient as we possibly can. So, every time there is anything that is recorded, we're all laboriously looking through all of the audio stems and picking it out with one another. And even is to go as far as like talking about the wording of how things are presented when we do a live set as well. The aforementioned, mentioning people doing nefarious acts inside of the venue sometimes gets me into some trouble. So, but I think it really depends on the crowd. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what we could get away with on a tour like this with some more traditional metal fans.
It's going to be great. I'm so keen. It's going to be so sick. And having the opportunity to like broaden the audience is always so good. So yeah, super thankful to AJ for, pushing us and believing in us and giving us the opportunity. And obviously our booking agent too, Jaden's putting in the hard work. So yeah, we're super grateful for the opportunity and we just overall want to be the best we can be. Really, like we just want to go in and smash it and make friends and have a good time.
Now, you mentioned a set list before, guys. Like, well, when you're playing with a band, like you say, that musically is different to them. So, well, when you're doing your set list up, do you select songs that you think their crowd will get into more of yours, or do you sort of more play songs that represent you more as a band? I guess.
Um, yeah, it's definitely something we take into consideration pretty heavily. Like we came off of Die Art tour earlier at the tail end of last year, and going to a tour like that, we will really think about their crowd being like very deathcore heavy, whereas this tour like it's pretty much straight metal, which is so sick, like it's really thrashy. So we just we try to like we try to show as much of ourselves as we can, like within reason, while simultaneously, catering to the crowd that we're playing for. Like, we're not going to go in and play, 5 of the lightest songs we've got, that's for sure. So, yeah, it's gonna be sick. Like, we're definitely going to cater the set to the shows that we're playing, and I mean, we're talking about playing some new stuff too. So that'll be so sick.
Yeah, you've been described as captivating and not to be missed when it comes to playing live. So, tell us about a typical Loon live show. Like, what's so special about it?
Oh, what do you reckon, Nathaniel?
Well, Chris tends to really go very, very, I would say, balls to the wall with the production side of things. We're very, we all practice very, very strictly. Like, I think, on the lead up to a tour, I'll probably practice 4 times a week for about 2 months straight, running a set, whether it be that getting ourselves conditioned for it. So, in terms of the actual musicianship, I think we're very, 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 uh, like I would say we treat the musicianship with like quite a level of reverence, I would probably say. And then in terms of the actual live production itself, we try and like what we're talking about with catering a set to a certain crowd, we try and put the energy that we want the crowd to give back to us. So, particularly with this sort of thing, I would say it's going to be quite a high energy set, and I like to sort of not give the audience room to breathe in terms of there's no dip in the set at all. Don't give them a second to even think about, oh, this band's a little different. You just want to keep smacking them with something different and hit them with a left and a right hook. So, the whole time it's just constant energy and constant movement. Ultimately for us, we walk away from sets that kind of leave us on our toes, but also leave us entertained. And we want to have everyone walk out of that venue talking about us and knowing that they had a good time and they weren't at the bar getting a drink and not listening to us, they're waiting for Sylosis to come on. We want to make sure that they run from the bar to go and watch us with a smile on their face. So that, and from
Beers in
that, my
hand, of
goal,
course.
yeah, absolutely, always with a beer in hand, or whatever else you might be into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I suppose
um
the captivating thing is a big thing because like especially going into a tour like this, we are the opener. Like we want to be captivating, and it's nice that we've been described that way. Because it's what we aim for. We want to grab people and hold them with us. Like we want to walk away and know that whilst we're playing, people watching. And we really push to try and hold the crowd when we're there. So it's yeah, that's some really lovely words.
Right.
Yeah, some of my favorite artists are people that, I didn't know who the hell they were before I saw them. I was at a show to see someone else, and for the same reason, I revel in the challenge of winning over a crowd, like whether it be a traditional metal or a thrash metal crowd. I want the dude, the shoulder length hair and the cargo shorts and the Metallica t-shirt who's was probably traditionally going to cross his arms to the entirety of our set to be won over in the second song and be going and smiling his ass off and having a great time. For me, I've my some of my favorite artists are people that I did not know who the hell they were before I saw them live for the first time. And I think that can be a very special experience for someone as a punter and as a listener, the same as it is for me. So I revel in that challenge, and I really look forward to winning over some new people in this run.
Very cool, guys. So, just say someone's coming to the show and They're there to see Sylosis and Angelmaker, and they've got no idea who Lune are. Give us three of your songs that they can listen to before they come to get to know the band better.
Go on, Krys.
Okay, so I mean, I reckon for this tour, there's a single from our last release called Progeny, which would be a great one. It's pretty metal. It's pretty just a slammer the whole way through. Really, there's not really much hold up for that one. There's another one from our first release called Ghost, which was actually our first single, really our heaviest track. Super low tunes, just angry song. And maybe for something lighter or a bit more proggy, I suppose Sylosis fans would be down with the techie stuff. Yeah, maybe Winter Sun. There's some techie stuff in there, and there's also some lighter stuff as well. So it introduces kind of like the other kind of airy, atmospheric side of the band.
Very cool. Now, you released your most recent EP, The Change Around Us and The Change in You, back in November 2023. So, firstly, how was the response to it? Was it what you hoped?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah. Oh, you go. Sorry.
yeah, so yeah, absolutely. I think we spent so much time working on that and we had our heads down that it got to a point where we were almost kind of like just itching to get it out at the end because there was a lot of back and forth with Graham from Resist before that came out. So sorry to the people that were waiting for a long time. The next one's going to be a lot sooner, I promise. But yeah, I think it blew our expectations out of the water. We just spent pretty much the entirety of last year touring off the back of that. And to get the responses and just to see new faces pretty much every single time we played. And most of them had, were not on board with us before that release. So it's really, I think that our last release had a little bit of something for everybody. And I think it's really done some really great things for us. And I think, there's a lot to be said about, when you release something, you have a lot of fun making it, and then you genuinely believe in the songs and you want to listen to them yourself. And you spend a lot of time going, I'm gonna listen to my own music again, which would probably seem, in any other sense narcissistic. But like as a music lover, when you really love the music, it kind of it can really speak for itself. And I think people really latch onto it when you kind of believe in the music that you've made. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's been
definitely.
really, really awesome to connect to more and more people through the new songs and see more and more people come to shows and connect with us and have a great time with us. And it just makes the whole atmosphere of what is a Lune show or us supporting a show way better. And the energy and the atmosphere at the shows we have played, particularly in 2024, were pretty electric. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this new year brings and what the Sylosis tour brings.
Yeah, that was kind of the main takeaway for me too. I suppose I write most of the music and stuff, so it kind of sits on my hard drive for quite a while before it sees the light of day. So the it wears off on you for sure when you're writing the music and you're listening to it and you're working on it so much. So to have it come out and have people turn up, and like we played the biggest headliners we've ever played last year and sold out a bunch of venues, which was like crazy. Like to have that kind of experience off the back of it was an EP, but quite a long one. So yeah, amazing. And just seeing new faces at shows and people supporting us and buying merch was, I mean, what more can you ask for? It was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to the new stuff as well. It's, in my opinion, a step up, and I'm really really keen to get going and play more new stuff and see what happens, because so far like it's just crazy, like just super stoked.
Now, you've mentioned new stuff a couple of times. So, is there a new album or EP in the works?
Yeah, there is. So I reckon I'm about, not to spoil anything, but we're about three-quarters of the way through writing an album. So I think the time's right for us to put out the full length. So I'm really excited. It's daunting for any band, I suppose, the debut full length, but also a really really sick challenge for us to meet head on and be able to have a body of work that really shows everyone who we are. And so far, we're all really stoked with where it's going. It all feels like a step up and a step in the right direction. So yeah, the first chance we get to kind of like push that stuff out in the live setting, you'll be hearing it.
Awesome, guys. Now, before I let you go, we started a new segment called Photo Bomb, where basically I troll through your social media before we chat, and
Oh,
I pick
shit.
photos and I ask you to tell me about it. Now, what's soulmate here? Everyone else is looking at you singing. What soulmate they're looking at?
Um, that's one of my best mates in the whole world. His name's Nathan Duke. He sings in a band called Bitterkind. He's probably like
He's
observing what's
looking at your
going
legs. He's
on
like,
the
oh,
light.
nice legs, man.
No, he's probably thinking about picking me up and throwing me because he thinks it's going to be funny. Or he's also probably looking at our live rig and analyzing it like a T9000 Terminator, trying to figure out how he can do that.
Yeah, that
He's a
guy.
very hardworking man, so he's either thinking of a way to thwart me, or he's thinking about he's watching and learning. Bless him.
I like these guys in the background too. Like they're screaming full pelt. They're loving it.
Yeah.
uh, always good to
The
see.
aforementioned atmosphere at the shows. Yeah, love it.
So sick.
Right, and the next one I've got is, what words of encouragement are you giving here?
Oh, go forth and
Well, yeah,
fraternize, clearly.
yeah, something along those lines. The aforementioned nefarious activities. I believe this is probably something to do with me saying some sort of the Lord of the Rings related pit call.
He's telling him to have
Um,
a really nice day.
no, probably, yeah, I am, yeah,
Have a really good day. Enjoy your
yeah.
night,
Tell them
sir.
to have a really, really good day and buy the rest of the tickets for the Sylosis tour before you miss out.